this session we'll be seeing about the trigger. Let's say if a user is creating an opportunity and if user doesn't have extra permission called manage opportunity, this is something we're gonna introduce it. If he doesn't have that permission enabled, then we need to display an error. Okay, so let's say if I'm a user, if I'm trying to create an opportunity, if I'm trying to create an opportunity, if I'm trying to create an opportunity, then my trigger should execute here. What happens? My trigger should execute to the process, and this trigger should check, does this user have is opportunity manager enabled. If he is enabled, then we'll create a record. Create opportunity. If not, display error message. If it is no, then we need to display an error message. Okay. Now, in order to do this, first I need to introduce a field called is opportunity manager on my user object. So let me create one quick field. I'll look for my users. Sorry, it's user. Checkbox. Is opportunity manager. By default, it's unchecked one. So next, visible. I'm making to visible for all profiles. Adding to a page layout. Now what happened? Now I can see this field is been added. Let me go to my user object, users, and you can see Procodingskills, and you can see there is no opportunity manager. Okay. If I try to create an opportunity now, let's say opportunity. If I create an opportunity, it will not show any error because we are not implementing any trigger, right? For example, code opportunity, and I'm selecting my close date, something 24, stage equal to prospecting, account name I select, Procodingskills, and I say. So opportunity got created. But next time after my implementation, next time if I try to create, it should ensure this Procodingskills institution user have is opportunity manager checkbox checked. Okay. Now for that, what we need to do first? We need to create a trigger to do all this validation stuff. For example, let me define a trigger, SFTX, create apex trigger. On which object I need to do? Opportunity trigger. And I'm not interested to write any code inside trigger, so I'll be defining my controller. SFTX create apex class. opportunity trigger handler, and after insert, okay, let me copy all the events. It's not required for, I'm just saying for a practice wise, I'm just showing up. So I added, but in this situation, what event I needed? I need to validate an opportunity creation before it get created, right? So that's the expectation. So I'll be writing my before insert. I mean that what I need to handle for this validation. Now let me change my trigger. Public void, public static void run. What I have done, I just implemented my trigger and I'm saying run. Deploy this to, okay, let's save it. Deploy opportunity trigger dot run. And if you remember, the earlier we have written one switch on switch case in the previous examples, switch case on a inside run, and we are getting a parameter system dot trigger operation type, nothing but a trigger dot operation type, right? Now in this case, I'll not even getting that the first argument, right? So what I'm doing here, so here I'll be doing my switch case, switch on trigger dot operation type, trigger dot operation type case. So if we can compare trigger dot operation type, this is the input argument and you can see trigger dot operation type. So instead of I'm passing from a trigger to Apex class, I'm directly calling it in the on statement itself, okay? When before insert, and this is my block. Clear? For example, Control Z, Control C. Let me define my methods. Let's say private void validate opportunity creation. So my method name is validate opportunity creation. And which type of method I'm trying to create here? A non-static method, okay? So in this case, earlier examples, if you can see everywhere we are using static, but in this case, I am using non-static. It's not required like you need to go with a non-static. You can use static also. For example, I'm taking it as a non-static. Handler equal to new handler. Now what happened? Created object. And if I want to call this one, then I can say handler dot validate opportunity creation. In this, what and all I need to do? In this, what and all I need to do? First, we need to get a user IDs, right? User IDs who is creating from opportunity. How can I get that? I can say first I'll key user IDs equal to new set of ID, and I'll iterate now. I'll iterate s object record colon trigger dot new. If let's say user IDs dot add, and last session we discussed about if you are reading anything from S object, that is comes as an object, right? Now I'll say opportunity OPP equal to opportunity. I'm typecasting to record. Now what I'm converting? I'm converting S object type to opportunity type with this, right? OPP dot created by ID. So now I got my all my users, right? Created by ID is the opportunity creator ID. So now I can able to see my opportunity creator by ID. So that never changes. Whoever is creating a record, they will come as a created by ID. And then what I need to get users from using SOQL. So how can I get my users? I'll get to map of ID comma user. Why I'll be getting as a map? If I pass my created by ID, I can check my user object, right? User map equal to new map of ID comma user, and I'll be writing query. First of all, let me get sfdx refresh s object definition all objects, because I created a field. I didn't refresh. If I refresh, I'll get my intelligence works. Select ID from user where ID in colon user IDs is opportunity manager. We got intelligence, right? Okay. Now what then? Revalidate the opportunities with the user map. Now we need to check this one. For this object record colon trigger dot new. Now I'll say opportunity OPP equal to record. Now user map dot get, otherwise instead of doing this I'll say here boolean is valid equal to user map dot get opp dot created by ID dot which fields you need to get is opportunity manager. Now I'll say not is valid. If it is not valid, then only we need to throw an error, right? Now I'll say opp dot add error, right? We need to do add error, isn't it? Opp dot add error, and I'll say please contact system admin. We do not have permission for opportunity creation. We do not have permission for opportunity creation. Deploy. It's deployed. Now let me go back and try to create an opportunity. New, and I'll say testing op, and I'll select my close date, and I'll select my account stage, and then I'll say before attempt to dereference a null point error validation line number 30 column 1. line number 30, column 1, opp dot created by id, which is a blank. What happened now? What is causing error here? It's not creating id, so ids is not getting generated at a before trigger, right? Created id and last modified ids. Because this record is not yet created in Salesforce, then it is not giving the creator by id. But what is the other option we have here? We also have, whenever you are creating opportunity, who will be the owner now? You can see Procodingskills. Not always, whoever is creating that one, right? Instead of creating by ID, what we can do here? Owner ID. Instead of creator ID, what we can do here? Owner ID. Deploy. New sample of select due date staging save. Please contact system admin. You do not have a permission for opportunity creation. Have you got it? Let's say if I want to customize this message, saying that let's go to setup. Instead of I hard code here, I wanted to have a configurable error message. Okay. So for that, what we can say here, you can say labels, custom label, new custom label, opportunity creation error, and I'll say you have no permission to create an opportunity at your user detail. Please contact system admin for more details. So this is my categories. I'll say that trigger errors say. So what is my custom label now? Opportunity creation error. Now I'll go here. Instead of this, I'll say system dot label dot field. System dot label dot your label name. Now if I go back, if I do sample op, and I'll say prospecting, and I'll say choose account, and I'll say you have no permission to create an opportunity at your user detail. Please contact system admin for more details. That's what we provided here, right? I'll edit this Akil. Here you have a language, Japanese. I'll log in as you. Totally change it, right? A custom object, we need to update the name. Translations we need to add. So yeah. Now I'll say this is closure date. This is opportunity name. This is staging, and this is account names. If I save, I should be getting that Japanese error here. Okay, Japanese error, right? So translation workbench works in this way. Exactly.